Making $1 billion used to be the ultimate badge of honor in Hollywood. In 2010, the $1 billion club was a fortress. Only 7 movies had ever done it. But today, the $1 billion club is crowded. It's noisy. It has 60 members. Minions is in there. Aquaman is in there. It's not exclusive anymore. The real test of a cinematic legend, the true god tier of box office economics, is the $2 billion line. As of February 2026, after over 100 years of cinema history, only 7 films have ever crossed this threshold. 7, that's it. And the list is not what you think. Spider-Man isn't on it. Batman isn't on it. The Lion King isn't on it. And as we just learned this winter, even James Cameron's Avatar, Fire and Ash couldn't buy its way in. Welcome to Filmonomics. Today, we are auditing the most exclusive club in entertainment history. We're going to rank the 7 members not by quality, but by profit power. We're going to investigate the new world anomaly that just crashed the party from China. And we're going to ask the uncomfortable question, is the era of the $2 billion blockbuster officially dead? To understand this club, you have to understand the admission price. You don't get to $2 billion just by being a good movie. You get there by being a cultural panic. Let's start at the bottom of the list. At number 7, we have Avengers Infinity War, and at number 6, Star Wars The Force Awakens. These 2 films represent the first pillar of the $2 billion formula, generational urgency. The Force Awakens didn't make $2.07 billion because it was a masterpiece. It made it because for 30 years, fathers wanted to take their sons to see a new Star Wars. That is pent-up demand. Similarly, Infinity War was the first half of a finale. The marketing hook wasn't "come see a movie," it was "don't get spoiled." Fear of missing out, or FOMO, is the most powerful economic driver in Hollywood. But here is the scary part. This trick only works once. Look at the sequels. The Last Jedi dropped to $1.3 billion. Rise of Skywalker barely limped past $1 billion. Nostalgia gets you in the door, but it doesn't keep you in the VIP lounge. Then we have the outlier, the grandmother of the club. At number 4, Titanic. This movie shouldn't be here. It has no superheroes, it has no franchise, it has no toys. It made $2.2 billion, adjusted for re-releases, purely on repeat business. In 1997, teenage girls watched this movie 5, 10, 20 times. This is the lightning in a bottle strategy. Studios keep trying to replicate Titanic with romances and dramas, but they fail every time. Titanic proves that you can reach $2 billion without IP, but only if you capture the hearts of the entire planet simultaneously. It is an economic miracle that we will likely never see again. Now we entered the stratosphere. At number 3, Avatar: The Way of Water, and at number 2, Avengers Endgame. This is where the market cap of these movies starts to rival small countries. Endgame, $2.79 billion, proves the power of the 10-year payoff. Marvel spent a decade building a specialized assembly line, training the audience to care about 20 different characters, just so they could cash it all in on one weekend in 2019. It was the greatest long con in business history. But Avatar: The Way of Water is more impressive financially. Why? Because everyone doubted it. It opened soft. Financial Twitter called it a flop on day 3. But James Cameron understands global universalism better than anyone. You don't need to know the backstory of Iron Man to enjoy Avatar. You just need eyes, blue oceans, 3D spectacle, simple themes of family. This allows the movie to travel to markets that don't care about Captain America, places like India, Germany, and Korea. And that brings us to the king, the undisputed CEO of the box office. Number 1, Avatar, 2009, $2.92 billion. It's been 17 years, and despite inflation, despite Marvel, despite Star Wars, nothing has beaten it. Why? Because Avatar was a technological tax. You had to pay extra for the 3D glasses. You had to see it in IMAX. James Cameron didn't just sell a ticket, he sold a premium upgrade. That 30% surcharge on every ticket is the moat that protects his castle. But the club just changed. For decades, we assumed that to enter the $2 billion club, you needed to be a Hollywood production, spoken in English, distributed by Disney or Universal. In 2025, that rule was shattered. Welcome the newest member, rank 5, Ne Zha Shock. With a total gross of $2.2 billion, this Chinese animated juggernaut has done the impossible. It didn't just beat Star Wars, it didn't just beat Spider-Man, it made 90% of its money in a single territory. This is a terrifying statistic for Hollywood executives. Ne Zha Shock proves that the global box office is fragmenting. China no longer needs Hollywood to generate mega hits. They have built their own internal blockbusters. If you take China out of the equation for Marvel or Avatar, those movies drop out of the club instantly. But Ne Zha Shock proved you can join the club without America. This is a shift in the tectonic plates of the global economy. We can't talk about the winners without talking about the losers. The most shocking story of 2026 is that Avatar Fire and Ash is currently stalled at $1.5 billion. Now, in any other context, $1.5 billion is a massive success. It's more than Barbie. But for James Cameron, it's a crisis. Why didn't it cross the line? The law of diminishing returns. The technological tax has expired. 3D is no longer new. The VFX are standard. The event became routine. When a miracle becomes a schedule, the profit margin disappears. Look at Spider-Man No Way Home. It stopped at $1.9 billion. It knocked on the door but couldn't get in. Look at Zootopia 2, $1.7 billion. The gap between huge hit and $2 billion legend is widening. Inflation helps. Ticket prices are higher, but audience attention spans are shorter. We wait for streaming. We wait for TikTok clips. To get 100 million people to drive to a theater twice in 1 month is getting harder every single year. So, who joins the club next? Avengers Secret Wars? Maybe. A new Star Wars? Unlikely. Shrek 5? Don't laugh, it has a better chance than you think. But the reality is, the $2 billion club might be closing its doors for a while. We have moved from an era of monoculture, where everyone watched the same thing, to an era of fragmented culture. Ne Zha 2 owns the East, Avengers owns the West, but very few movies own the world anymore. The 7 films on this list are monuments to a time when we all agreed on one thing for 3 hours. And as streaming takes over, these 7 movies might stand alone for a very, very long time. If you want to know which actor is the only person to crack this code 4 different times, check out our deep dive on Zoe Saldana right here. She is the only human being who has a permanent key to the VIP lounge. Thanks for watching Filmonomics, and see you on the next one.